After my daughter went missing, I pleaded in the group chat, "She's been gone 72 hours, help me search." My mother shared her book club photos. Nobody joined the search party. 3 weeks later, living on coffee and hope, I found 145 missed calls, and my uncle's shaking text, "Pick up. The media is here." I answered. And then? I never thought I'd be writing this story, but after everything that happened, I need to get it out there. Maybe it'll help someone else going through something similar. Maybe it'll just help me process what my family put me through. Either way, here goes. My name is Sarah, and 3 months ago, my 7-year-old daughter Emma went missing from our neighborhood playground. What happened next showed me exactly what kind of people I'd been calling family my entire life. It was a Tuesday afternoon in late spring. Emma had begged me to let her walk the 3 blocks to Miller Park alone. She was finally old enough, and all the other kids in our quiet suburban neighborhood did it. I watched from our front porch as she skipped down the sidewalk in her favorite purple sundress, her backpack bouncing with each step. That was the last time I saw her for 21 days. When Emma didn't come home by dinner, I started getting worried. By 8 p.m., when she still hadn't shown up, pure panic set in. I called the police, then started reaching out to everyone I knew. The first place I turned to was our family group chat, the Morrison clan, which included my parents, my 2 sisters Lisa and Jennifer, my brother Mike, and about 15 cousins, aunts, and uncles. Emma's been gone for 72 hours, I typed with shaking fingers at 2 a.m. on Friday morning. "Please, I'm begging you. Help me search. The police are doing what they can, but they need volunteers. I can't do this alone." The responses I got still make my blood boil. My mother, Patricia, sent a photo of her and her book club friends at some wine tasting event. "Having such a lovely evening with the girls. Sorry about Emma, dear, but I'm sure she's just being dramatic. You know how kids are." My sister Lisa replied, "Can't help this weekend, taking the kids to Disney World. Hope everything works out." Jennifer chimed in, "Maybe try checking with her friend's parents again? I'm sure she's fine. Kids wander off all the time." My brother Mike, who lived 20 minutes away, said, "Wish I could help sis, but I've got a golf tournament this weekend. Big money on the line." Uncle Robert, who I'd always been closest to growing up, just hearted my mother's wine photo. Cousin after cousin made excuses. Prior commitments. Too busy with work. She'll turn up. Don't worry so much. Kids these days. Not a single person from my family of 30-plus people showed up to help search for my missing child. You know who did show up? My neighbor Mrs. Chen, who barely spoke English but spent 18 hours walking through the woods behind our house calling Emma's name. My coworker Jake, who I'd only known for 6 months, organized his entire church to distribute flyers. Complete strangers from Facebook groups dedicated to finding missing children drove hours to join search parties. But my own family? Nothing. The police did everything they could, but after the first week with no leads, I could see the hope fading from their eyes too. I quit my job at the marketing firm to search full-time. I lived on coffee, granola bars, and the kindness of strangers. I posted Emma's photo everywhere: telephone poles, shop windows, social media. I drove to 3 different states following up on possible sightings that all led nowhere. My savings account drained. My credit cards maxed out. I sold my jewelry, my car, anything of value to fund gas money for searching and printing more flyers. The family group chat stayed active during this time, but it was all normal family gossip. Pictures of graduations I wasn't invited to. Arguments about who was hosting Thanksgiving. Photos of my cousin's kids at soccer games and birthday parties. My child was missing, and they were planning barbecues. 3 weeks into Emma's disappearance, I was surviving on maybe 2 hours of sleep a night. I'd lost 15 pounds. My phone battery had died the night before during another fruitless search through abandoned buildings on the east side of town, and I hadn't had time to charge it properly. When I finally plugged it in the next morning, my phone exploded with notifications. 145 missed calls. Dozens of voicemails. Hundreds of text messages. The most recent text was from Uncle Robert, sent just 20 minutes earlier. "Sarah, pick up your phone now. The media is here. Pick up." My hands shook as I called him back. "Sarah, thank God," he answered before the first ring finished. "Where have you been? We've been trying to reach you all night. What's going on? Did they find Emma?" My heart hammered against my ribs. No, not that. "Sarah, There's news crews outside Mom and Dad's house. Outside Lisa's house. They're at Jennifer's workplace. Someone leaked the family group chat to the media. The world tilted sideways. What do you mean leaked? All of it, Sarah. Every message. Your plea for help, Mom's wine photos, everyone's excuses. It's all over social media. Hashtag Emma search is trending. People are furious. I hung up and immediately opened Twitter. The top trending hashtag was indeed hashtag Emma search, and underneath it was hashtag Morrison family shame. Someone had screenshot every single message from our family chat and posted them online. There was my desperate plea for help searching for my missing daughter, timestamped at 2:03 a.m. Below it, my mother's wine tasting photos, posted just minutes later. Then screenshot after screenshot of my family making excuses, dismissing Emma's disappearance, treating it like an inconvenience. The internet had done what it does best, it exploded with righteous fury. The comments were brutal but accurate. Imagine your 7-year-old granddaughter is missing and you post wine photos instead of helping search. This family is disgusting. That poor mother begging for help and they're talking about golf tournaments. 30+ family members and not one helped look for Emma? I'm a stranger and I drive across the country to help. The book club photo her granddaughter is missing is the most heartless thing I've ever seen. Local news picked it up first, then national outlets. By noon, CNN was running a segment called Family Abandons Mother During Daughter's Disappearance. The screenshots were everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit. My phone rang constantly. Reporters wanting interviews. Producers wanting me on talk shows. But most importantly, tips about Emma started pouring in like never before. The media attention did something the police's initial efforts couldn't: it made Emma's disappearance impossible to ignore. Her photo was on every news channel, every social media platform. Millions of people were now looking for my daughter. And on day 21, we found her. A truck driver in Nevada saw Emma's photo on the news and called the tip line. He'd seen a little girl matching her description at a rest stop with a man who seemed nervous and wrong. The FBI traced his trucking route, pulled security footage, and within 6 hours they'd identify the man who had taken my daughter. Emma was found safe in a motel room 4 states away. She was scared, traumatized, but alive. The man who'd taken her, a drifter with a history of child abduction, was arrested and is now serving life in prison. While I was in Nevada hugging my daughter for the first time in 3 weeks, my phone was exploding again. But this time, it wasn't reporters calling. It was my family. My mother: Sarah, darling, we need to talk about this media situation. This is very embarrassing for our family's reputation. Lisa, can you please make a statement that we're not bad people? This is affecting Tom's business. Jennifer, people are showing up at my kid's school asking about Emma. You need to fix this. Mike, sis, I'm getting death threats. Can you tell people we helped behind the scenes? But they hadn't helped behind the scenes. I had records of everything: phone logs, credit card statements, witness testimonies from every single search party. Not one member of my family had contributed a minute of time, a dollar of money, or an ounce of effort to finding Emma. Uncle Robert was the only one who called to ask how Emma was doing first, and how I was holding up. Then he quietly admitted, "Sarah, I need you to know, I'm the one who leaked the screenshots." I was stunned. You? But why? Because watching them ignore you while you were dying inside made me sick. Because Emma is my great niece and they treated her disappearance like it was nothing. Because someone needed to hold them accountable for how they treated you. I couldn't sleep at night knowing they were getting away with it. Robert had screenshotted the entire group chat conversation over those 3 weeks and sent it anonymously to a local news reporter with a note: "This mother begged her family for help finding her missing daughter." This is how they responded. The story kept growing. Emma and I were invited on Good Morning America, where I told our story to millions of viewers. The host asked directly about my family's response, and I answered honestly. I didn't trash them, but I didn't cover for them either. I simply read their messages aloud exactly as they'd written them. That interview sealed their fate in the court of public opinion. My mother was asked to step down from her position on the library board after a petition with 15,000 signatures demanded her removal. Lisa's husband's real estate business lost 60% of its clients in 2 months. Jennifer was let go from her job at the bank after angry customers started closing accounts. Mike's contracting company went under after homeowners canceled projects and left scathing reviews online. The extended family fared no better. Cousins who'd made flippant comments about Emma wandering off found themselves fired, ostracized, their own children uninvited from birthday parties and school events. They tried to blame me for ruining the family and not keeping private matters private. But I never said a word publicly about our family group chat. Uncle Robert's leak was anonymous, and I hadn't confirmed it was him until he told me himself. When reporters asked me direct questions about my family's response, I'd simply stated facts. When shown the screenshots, I confirmed they were real. I never editorialized or added commentary. I didn't need to, their own words spoke volumes. The whole situation reached a breaking point at what was supposed to be Emma's welcome home party, organized by Mrs. Chen and the neighbors who'd actually helped search for her. My parents showed up uninvited, demanding to be included in photos and interviews. "We're family," my mother insisted to the local news crew. Of course we supported Sarah during this difficult time. That's when I'd had enough. "Mom," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "would you like me to show them the wine-tasting photos you posted when I begged for help finding Emma?" Her face went white. She and my father left without another word. The aftermath has been complicated. I've learned who my real family is, and it's not the people who share my DNA. It's Mrs. Chen, who still brings Emma soup when she's not feeling well. It's Jake from work, who became Emma's honorary uncle and never missed one of her soccer games. It's Uncle Robert, who chose doing the right thing over family loyalty and visits Emma every Sunday. It's the hundreds of strangers who drove hours to look for my daughter when her own grandparents couldn't be bothered to leave a wine tasting. My relationship with my parents and siblings is essentially over. They blame me for their public humiliation, but I sleep peacefully at night knowing I never said anything about them that wasn't true. I simply refuse to cover up their callousness when the media ask direct questions. Emma is doing well now, by the way. She's back in school, seeing a therapist who specializes in childhood trauma, and slowly returning to her normal 7-year-old self. She doesn't fully understand why Grandma and Grandpa don't visit anymore, but she's surrounded by people who actually love and protect her. Sometimes people ask if I regret how everything played out with my family. They ask if I wish I'd handled it differently, kept things private, protected their reputations. My answer is always the same. I regret that my family showed such little concern for my missing child that their behavior became a national news story. But I don't regret telling the truth when asked about it. Emma deserved better from her family. I deserved better from mine. And sometimes, the only way people learn there are consequences for their actions is when those consequences become impossible to ignore. The best part of this whole ordeal? The search efforts that began when Emma's story went viral haven't stopped. The Facebook group that formed to find her has helped locate 12 other missing children in the past 2 months. Mrs. Chen started a neighborhood watch program that's been adopted by communities nationwide. Jake's church now has a standing volunteer team for family emergencies that's helped dozens of people. Something beautiful grew from something terrible, and Emma's disappearance ultimately helped save other children and brought communities together. As for my family? Last I heard, they started their own group chat, one without me in it. Which is perfectly fine, because I've learned that family isn't about shared DNA or group chats or holiday traditions. Family is about who shows up when everything falls apart. And now I know exactly who my real family is.